All right, quiz. I'm giving a retake. All right, number 5. 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 15 minus 20x. Rule number 1, put them in order. Do you have to have them in order? No. But if you put them in order, you won't mess up your signs at the end. And maybe you didn't have them in order and you didn't mess them up. That's fine. First thing you do, look for a greatest common factor. No matter what, you do that first. And I'll tell you right now, most of the ones you missed on your homework, you didn't pull out the greatest common factor. You know what to do, but you forget the greatest common factor. Next thing is if you have 4 terms, you're going to be grouping the 2 terms and the 2 terms. Now, there are no numbers in common, but anytime you have exponents on both of them, you automatically pick the smallest one. Automatic.
Since like 20 and 4 have...
20 has nothing to do with it. You mean put them this way?
Yes.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't mess up your answer?
No, actually, I think it's easier if you don't. Because the greatest common factor is easier to find. There's the only thing in common is the x's.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So it doesn't matter if you put them in order. His question is, can you put the 20 here and the 3 here? Absolutely, but no. Don't. Oh, no, you can't. Not here. No. You're talking about when you're grouping. When you're coming from here to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do that, but
It'd be different.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
He wants to just take them out of order to make the 4 go with the 20. There isn't any reason to do that. In fact, look how easy it is to find the greatest common factor.
Yeah.
All right, now, 4x minus 3. Here's the part nobody wants to do, and it will avoid at least 20% errors. Do the distributive property in your head before you move on. It really makes a difference. That's 4x cubed, then look. That's negative 3x squared, then look. If you just do it right there, you're going to avoid a ton of errors. And then you look, and you need a negative 5. Don't just put a 5, it's negative 5 to get a negative 20. And now you're done. 4x minus 3, x squared minus 5. Most everybody got that. One problem. Okay. Those of you that got these right, these next 3, and did grouping, raise your hand. Okay, I'm going to try to stop you from doing that because what you're doing makes no sense whatsoever. All you're doing is taking a chance of screwing it up.
Grouping it?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I'll show you what I mean.
You're trying to mess up our goodness.
No, I'm trying to save you time to have time to check your
I did
test.
the thing where you like find the factors. Is that grouping?
When you have nothing here,
Yeah, I did that too.
you should automatically do that. That you need to memorize. If there is no number in front of x squared, the first thing you should do is write x and x. Now, you guys that are doing this grouping thing, you're looking for factors of 10, and you're finding, oh, it's negative 7 is equal to negative 2 minus 5, and you're writing out negative 2x and negative 5x. Why would you do that when all you have to do now is put those numbers in, and you're finished? Don't group, because you are grouping them and then coming out with the same answer anyway. You're finished. Every time there's nothing here but a 1, go straight to the answer. Now, going straight to the answer also means do a quick check. Is this times this that? It is. That's a good thing to do. And I'll show you why in 2 problems. Yeah.
If there's a negative in front of the x and you have to take the x away.
What do you mean there's a negative in front of the x? There's no negative here.
But if there was, you would have to take
Then you would have a completely different factoring problem. Okay? It would not be the same problem at all. Okay? Next one. Oh yeah, this is the one. X squared plus 13x minus 30. I'm looking for factors of 30. which is 2 and 15, or 5 and 6, or 1 and 30, or 3 and 10. I think I'll take 3 and 10.
Oh,
Automatic, x and x. 3 times 10 is also equal to 13, plus 3, plus 10. That is why I want you to do the quick check at the end. Because 3 times 10 is not negative 30. That's the wrong one. You should be able to look at a trinomial on any test and look and see if you have a negative here. The only way to get a negative is if one of them's positive and one of them's negative. If you have negative, negative, it's positive here. If you have positive, positive, it's positive here. So this one can't work. It's 15 and negative 2. 15 and negative 2.
So the only way the number on the far right can be negative if it's positive negative?
Right. Because when you do first, outer, inner, last, the last thing you do is get that. And that is, there's no way to get two of the same sign. Okay? So that's something you should recognize or think about before you even start the problem. Okay, well, let's just do that with this problem. Okay, x squared minus 5x minus 36. Nothing in front of x squared, automatic. Now, it can't be negative, negative, and it can't be positive, positive. It's got to be one of each. And it's 4 and 9. Now you look here and make sure you have the negative on the right spot. I always write it out like that. So I'm not, I just do myself. I'm a math teacher and I write it out. Put 4 and 9, and then you know it's equal to negative 5, okay? And there's your 4, and there's your 9. You're finished. You should never, ever, ever do grouping on a problem like this. It's just asking to make a dumb mistake.
would it change anything if the 5x was positive or not?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't. You can't factor it.
Okay.
Sure, it would, because then you've got to make a 5.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Now, the most missed are the ones that are mostly the ones on your test, and that's ones that start out with something you have to get rid of. Number 9 has no greatest common factor, but it does have a negative. You guys forgot to pull out the negative. Look how easy it makes it. It makes it all positive. 3x squared, positive 14x, and positive 8. Now your next step, if I were you at this point on a test, I would put that negative on the blank and forget it exists. And just do the problem. You don't, it's part of your answer. It's going to be there at the end. Forget about it. Because I'm seeing a lot of people forgetting to do that. So let's do this. We have 24 and we need to make a 14. 2 times 12. Positive, positive. 3x squared plus 12x plus 2x plus 8. Okay, group it. The greatest common factor is 3x. X plus 4. Now, 3x squared, 12x. Always do that before you move on. All the mistakes happen right here. No, not all, but you know what I mean. Okay, and that is a positive 2. Final answer, x plus 4, 3x plus 2. Now, I don't think some people know how to check this. I had a kid tell me, well, I checked it and it came out. He didn't know how to check it. This is like 3 numbers being multiplied by each other. If you have negative 1 times 5 times 2, you don't make them both negative. You get a negative and then you multiply by 2. What this kid did was he made all these negative. When you have a negative out here and you have time on a test to check it, that's negative x plus 4 and 3x plus 2. You decide which one you want to change, but you only change one of them. So that's negative x, negative 4, And then first, outer, inner, last. And you'll get the original back. Okay? That's how he messed up. Poor kid checked it and still missed it. I hate that. Okay. The last one, honestly, I tried to give you the easiest, greatest common factor I could. I gave you 3 even numbers, and I wanted you to remember to take out the 2. 2. 10x squared 5 plus x minus 6. Now, quick check. Okay, now you have to factor this. This has a number in front of it. My idea